Hello, everybody. We got a really good series in store for you guys. This is round 32 and very impressive series for round 32. We got Hazza versus Jerimuno. Two very skilled players here. It's going to be a really interesting one to watch and see how it gets played out.
For sure. Spawning up to the north of the map in the red, it is Hazza, and he's there with his Russians. Down to the south on the Pampa Sierras, it will be in the blue, Jerimuno, and he's got the Aztecs. And now, you have to forgive me, I'm much newer to the game. I'm relying on you to drop the knowledge bombs while I hopefully ask some valuable questions that lead you to explaining some stuff for maybe the newer viewers as well.
Yeah, I'm taking and keeping an eye on the hunts right now on the map just to make sure it looks balanced. Yeah, might be slightly misfavored for Hazza.
Okay, so you're saying Jerry has slightly better hunt at the moment? It does look like he's got one behind his base. If we look at the minimap, you see that hunt at the back, whereas Hazard seems to be a little bit more forward.
Yeah, well, it looks like Hazza has two hunts. I mean, I think it's balanced. I think it's good to go with.
All right.
It's a fairly high hunt map, and Hazza's third hunt might be a bit further than Jerimuno's, but it's not that much of a difference, and he could herd it in. So I
Okay.
think it's best to play with it.
So the thing I'm noticing first of all here, the big difference between the two players is you've got Jay going up to the left side, grabbing all of those llama off of the Pampean Mountains, bringing them home. I think he's got 5 llama in total so far. Well, Hazza's gone for more of a treasuring approach here, sending his explorer to the middle of the map. I think he picked up 90 coin, and he's now going for the 90 food on the right side against those wolves there as well. Do you think that's going to make a significant difference between the two players? Obviously, getting the treasure versus having the extra llama here.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting. I would say usually you would expect both players to go to the side together, the llamas. So yeah, I'm surprised to see Hazza go to like the more treasure side, but it might be more of a risk him doing that, but it's actually really paid off for him. I would say, at least especially in the short term. In the short term, Hazza's got these like treasures. It'll get him the age up quicker, age two, and it'll pay off a lot more. While these llamas, they have zero benefit until you really use them.
Yeah, and even in the chat there, Jerry, like, you weren't on the left side at all. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And he's not going to get to steal this treasure either. That's definitely going to be Hazard's there. But Hazard going to pick up 3 treasures so far. He's got 90 coin and in total 180 food. Obviously, like you say, that's going to take longer. Oh, sorry, it's more of an instant benefit, whereas the benefit for Jerry will come much later after those llamas have perhaps fattened up a little bit more.
Yeah, that said, Jerimuno did just delete two of the llamas, which will allow him to get up to H2 a little bit quicker. That's interesting.
All right. Yeah, yeah, I see that there. He's taking them now. So obviously, the food gathered from Haz is going to help get him up a little bit faster, perhaps. But for Jerry, he's taking the llamas here to do almost the same effect, and he's kind of caught the explorer here as well. Doesn't I'm not sure if he's going to get that. It looks like he might just make it back in time.
Yeah, so right now Hazard's Explorer is snared. He's trying to break the snare by basically attacking the Aztec Explorer. Um, Kind of at the same time, it's a little trick you can do where like when you're not attacked, you attack him and you can like break the snare and escape. But
He's not getting it though.
yeah,
It's
but we
unfortunate.
yeah, it's close. Or the Aztec Explorer is still full health, and
Yeah, the
you
explorer
know,
looks like it's going down here. One more hit, and down he goes.
yeah, Hazard's not going to put villagers in TC. Um, and yeah, we got a defensive blockhouse coming up for Hazard.
Yeah, we've got 3 villagers actually kind of forward from Jerry here as well. He aged up pretty quick. He's already in the colonial age now. As Hazard's going up, he's about 45% going up with the quartermaster, and the blockhouse coming down at home. Now in this matchup, like, I know from experience, the Russians like to play kind of aggressive, but are they out aggroed by the Aztecs?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Both of these civs are very aggressive, and generally they all would always build their forward military building in the middle map and
Hmm.
just get units out really quickly and be really good at rushing and getting map control. Um, so it's interesting. This is like a matchup you really don't see this very often. So it's hard to say, but I feel like I like Russia in this matchup.
Okay.
But Yeah, I mean it's hard to say. I feel like this is such a unique matchup. Like you don't, there's not many players that really play Russia super frequently, and then like same thing with Aztec. But both of the civilizations can be very good.
Okay, and we see a second blockhouse for Hazza now, also kind of defensively at home. I guess he's expecting that rush. I don't know if he's actually scouted it though. It looks like his explorer's up and roaming again, but he's sort of missed that war hut there, which is obviously very far forward. He's also training muskets at the moment. He's going straight into that, and he's actually switched. He decided to, against the second blockhouse, he's building a stable at the back instead. What do you think he's gone for the second stable here, or the stable instead of the second blockhouse?
Yeah, it's interesting. With the stable, you can have just more cav, more potential to raid, and he's right now he's actually dropping a blockhouse down behind his TC. So with
Okay, wow.
it looks like he's building his base defensively. Kind of unique placement there. I guess he has all of his hunts back there, so I feel like he's gonna go for like some type of like timing age up. Because yeah, just the way his base is built, he has a lot of hunt right on top of his TC. So um, yeah, it kind of tells me that maybe he'll make some units in H2, but I think he's gonna go for some like timing where he just tries to sneak up to H3.
Okay, and then obviously sort of relying on the extra defense of the blockhouses. Maybe he can send a little Cossack raid out as well. But at the moment, there's nothing in queue there. It's just the 5 muskets he's got already, the 3 villagers from the TC, and that's about it. Obviously, from Jerry, we see some Coyote runners out on the map already, and it looks like he wants to try and do some raiding damage with these guys. But do you think he's going to find much here? And actually, you're right, with that 700 gold coming in, it looks like Hazza's looking for that H3.
Yeah, and I mean, just look at Hazard's base. Like, it's so how do you rate this? You got the two blockhouses. You can put
Yeah.
villagers into the blockhouses. Like, the only thing is, right here, these coyote runners are coming in, and Hazard did kind of forget about one villager, but now he just remembered he had one villager that was gathering kind of far out there, but he was actually kept a close eye on him.
Yeah, and
And
he's sending the muskets over. He's actually training more muskets. He's also doing strelets. It's like a 50-50 mix right now. Jerry also sending 6 Puma Spearmen. Going to be sending those out across to link up with his Coyote runners. We'll see how this fight goes. Who does this favor at the moment?
ooh, that was close. I has a or Jerimuno could have took that fight. With five Cossacks popping out right there. I don't know. This is a very
Hmm.
interesting essay force, mainly coyote runners, and a couple of pumas here. But Hess is not going to really leave his base. He's sending a single Charlotte out to do some scouting, and you can't fight underneath TC and blockhouses with like potential for Minutemen and just more unit pops.
Mm. Does he have to be careful here though? Because if he's playing so defensively, he's obviously spent down that 700 coin. He's training a lot of units now. All of a sudden, Cossack, more muskets coming through. That H3 doesn't seem to be the priority. But at some point, he's got to be careful not to get too stuck in his base. He's got to push out in order to get the hunts right.
Yeah, I mean that is true. He's starting to just mass up an H2 force as you can see, but he still has like a pretty good amount of hunt in his base. Like he's not going to run out anytime real soon. And then when the hunts do start getting thinner, then he can really make that push out. But yeah, he does have to be aware of that. There's that is a clock that you have to keep an eye on.
Mhm. Yeah, so
Um,
he's kind of biding his time. I mean, I guess waiting for the right time to strike. At the moment, he's sending 2 Cossacks out to the right side, see if he can find anything. Maybe just for some scouting info, perhaps.
yeah, and if you look at Jerimuno's shipments, he did build a forward war hut, but he started off shipping really economically. Actually, started off shipping 700 wood, and then shipped 5 villagers, and now he's shipping his. Yeah, here we go. Now we're in his unit shipments: 6 pumas, and then 10 mace. You got 2 Cossacks coming in, looking to see if they can get a raid. Meanwhile, Jerimuno's main force is starting to move up here.
All right, yeah, he's sending that forward now. The Cossacks are coming into the back. He's going to find that wood line. Maybe he'll grab a villager or 2 back there, but at the same time, we've got the engagement starting at the front. We've got Jerry sort of posturing in front of Hazza, but Hazza's not confident to take this fight, just relying on the TC, the blockhouse fire to do some damage, while he actually catches those mace on the right side. Not a good start for Jerry in this fight by the looks of things.
I do not like this. This is so difficult to push into a town center and 2 blockhouses and a Russian force. Maybe Jerimuno was probably expecting Hazza to have a lot less units, but Just such a difficult position to push into with the possibility of unit pops and Minutemen being called, and even villagers tanking some damage. So Jerimuno does back off there. It doesn't get trapped or snared.
Yeah, it's got to be a pretty good trade for Hazard there, and he's just sent Boyars as well. Such a strong tech at this point, just going to buff up all those Cossacks, all those Strelets, and he's pushing out. Do you think that Jerry can take this fight here? Does he have enough?
This would be a pretty interesting fight. Military population wise, they're pretty even. Here we go. The engage is starting. Cossacks are getting some snares on. It's now Coyote Riders on the Cossacks. Mace are trying to get onto the muskets and the Strelets. Pumas are moving in, getting onto the Cossacks here.
Yeah, the Cossack number's getting a little lower already, but I mean, man, look at that. Those muskets at the back firing in. More Cossacks coming in from the back as well. Looks like Hazza's going to have what it takes to overwhelm this. I guess once he gets to those mace at the back, he'll start to cut through that pretty quickly. And, oh boy, we've got more reinforcements coming in from the War Hut, but it looks like Hazza's just got the momentum at the moment.
Yeah. Jerimuno's force falling a little bit too quickly there, and 5 Coyote Runners, nice little addition, but came a bit too late, and just still lots of Cossacks left.
Wow, how does Jerry stabilize from this? I mean, that's a scary number of Cossacks to be running straight at Eureka right now.
3 Prowler Knights are popping out right now. If those 3 Prowler Knights were in that fight, oh, that could have been much better for Jerimuno, but coming out, timing's just not right for him.
He's going to lose one Vill on the left. The rest going to get back into the TC. Another Vill goes down. And now the Prowler Knights are coming in. And, well, looks like Hazza's going to try and get out to the right side here and avoid getting caught. But looking at that fight there, we saw that he lost 16 Cossacks, 15 muskets, 7 Strelets. But that was way more units lost for Jerry. And obviously, Hazza now has this bigger army. He can sort of bully Jerry around the map a little bit and sort of fight on his terms, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for Jerimuno to stabilize here. Starting to eat some of his llamas, trying to get his villagers back on resources. Here we go, another engage. Coyote Runners getting into the fight. Oh, some Coyote Runners are just walking around, though.
Gotta have those units fighting. And we got the Jaguar Prowl Knights coming in as well, though, here. And like you say, that could be pretty good for Jerry. But it still looks like Hazza just has too much on the field, right? Just too many men. And that's the GG right there. Jerry feeling a little bit overwhelmed, perhaps, and doesn't see a way back into the game. Man, Hazza played that really sort of slow. He took his time, right? He waited until he was ready, and then he just took the fight and sort of snowballed it from there.
Yeah, it's very interesting. He built his base very defensively to kind of to get you thinking maybe he's going to try to hit a timing where he sneaks up to H3, but instead he just massed units. And Russia, they're just so strong in these mid or even kind of early H2 engagements in games where you can get both players to just stay in H2 and make units. Like Russia just trades their units so cost effectively, and they're so strong in H2.
It definitely looks that way, and it's interesting as well, like Hazza there, with the 2 Cossacks at the back, just to poke the wood line, maybe distract Jerry just enough that he could get an advantage when he was fighting at his own base. The timing on that was great. And not only that, but the timing on Boyars as well. He did the tech, he pushed out, and he took the fight just as he got that power spike. And Jerry just didn't have enough to deal with that army at that point. So, well played by Hazza in game 1. He'll take that and get his first point on the board. That reminds me, I need to actually put his point on the board. I don't know how to do that. There we go. I got it. I think. There we go. Cool. This is the first time actually controlling the camera ever, so sorry if I make any mistakes. I'm trying to show you the right things, but please give me any feedback. If anything is wrong, tell me in the chat, and I'll try and fix it as soon as I can.
Yeah.
But, we'll take a quick look at the post game.
Mm-hmm.
So what really stood out to you about that game? What was the key moment in that game for you?
Man, it's tough to say. I mean, I guess the key moment was really just the strategy. Both players just massing an H2 army. Neither one was super aggressive with a quick rush. Both players Jerimuno decided to ship 700 wood as his first H2 shipment. That was probably the most decisive thing, his build order. He decided to ship 700 wood, and then he decided to ship five villagers. So he was like holding off on his rush, and he was committing to like a later H2 timing. And that versus Russia just seems like so deadly and just kind of the wrong choice a lot of times because Russia is just so strong in H2.
Okay, yeah, it looks that way. I mean, especially like you say, with the big massive units there, being able to push out and just clean them up. But yeah, just looking at the military unit count, it's kind of interesting. Jerry actually had the uh, military population advantage at the start of that big fight in the mid game, but then he came out way below in that military count. So that fight's so clearly going well for Hazza, and just got so much more value out of those units, like you say. So yeah, that was game one. We'll go back out to the civs. We can see there that Hazza was victorious, and he can no longer pick Russia. But that means he'll pick first in game number two. That will be on Florida, our next map, and that means that will give Jerry an opportunity to counter pick, perhaps. So hopefully they've hosted the game, and we can get in and start talking about the civs here.
Yeah, I'll be right back just to grab some water.
All right, no problem. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that first game. Again, do leave some feedback if you have any in the chat. I'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, we've got a 2-minute delay today, so apologies if our responses aren't like snappy. We have got to wait 2 minutes to sort of respond to you. But looking forward to game two here. It looks like we're locked in. Jerry's gone for the Sioux, and we've got Hazza on the Germans. We'll give you anxiety back in just a second. And we will talk about the civs in more depth. I've seen a lot of the Germans, not seen so much of the Sioux, so hopefully he can fill us in here as we prepare to go on to Florida. Obviously, Hazza looking pretty dominant in game one. We'll see if Jerry can turn the tides a bit and make this a close series, give us a close fight in game number two here. All right, sounds like he's back. He is. And what do you think to this? We've got Sioux versus Germany here for game number two.
All right, let's see. So Hazza had to choose his civilization first, so he chose German, which I like that choice. German feels like a very safe civ. It's a very difficult civ to civ counter. So I think that was a very good choice by Hazza. And yeah, he hasn't made up his mind
Okay.
yet.
He was actually readied up a minute ago, I think, but it looks like he's actually changed his mind, and he's instead going for Ottoman. What do you think about this? I think they're both sort of like classic civs, right? There's nothing too crazy here. I think they're both just solid.
Yeah, I do like Ottoman more than Sioux. I think I could see Jerimuno coming up with this. It'll be interesting. And then Ottoman on this patch in EP, they can be pretty interesting sometimes because there is C on this map. So sometimes Ottoman can like go C really early and do a C boom, or they could do very fast H3 and be super aggressive. So they have a couple different strategies they can really pull out.
Yeah, and it's not actually guaranteed he's going to pick Ottoman for sure. It's not locked in just yet, but he's sort of showing his thought process, maybe thinking Ottoman here. But I like Florida. I think it's a great map. I love the fact that you kind of have that option to go for the water, and unlike in Age 2, where water is kind of absolutely, guaranteed. In this case, it's kind of an option. You don't have to go for water. You can sort of save the resources in the investment and go for a bigger push on land instead. But it looks like he's switched his mind again. He's actually going for the Sioux. So what do you think about that? You said you prefer the Ottomans perhaps, but in the end he's going for the Sioux anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, a lot of times it comes down to what the player is more confident with and more familiar with. So maybe he might just be more familiar playing as Sioux than Ottoman. Yeah,
All right.
I feel like I would have liked Ottoman, but Sioux's not too bad either.
All right, so we show the Civ screen then for everyone there. We've got the Germans versus the Sioux for game number 2 on Florida. It's going to be the first pick for Hazza. I guess you could say counter-picked by Jerimuno. But he wants a win here. It's already 1-0 to Hazza as we go into the second map. Obviously, Florida is now coming up. We're loading in, and we're going to have that one just in a moment as we load into the game.
All right, and a little trick for you. I'm sure you're not aware of this. If you want to try it out, you can to put on Fog of War. You can hold down Control and Alt, and then press F.
Ah, Control Alt and F. Awesome. That didn't work.
Maybe Control Shift and F.
Control Shift F. There we
There
go.
you
Cool. All right, we'll put Fog of War on to start the game. All right. Anyway, spawning up to the north of the map in the red for game number 2, it is Hazza. He's leading the series 1-0 at the moment, and he's picked up Germany as his second Civ pick. In the south of the map, in the blue, we have got Jerimuno playing as the Sioux, and of course the map is Florida. And what do you think about the map? What do you think about the Civs?
This is a pretty interesting map. As you're saying, we do have water on this map, but these two civs are two civs that very rarely go water. So yeah, I don't expect to see any water unless if it's like really late, played out game. Then maybe late in the game they'll decide to go on water. There are a lot of treasures on this map, and if you look at the Sioux Explorer, he is running around this map pretty quickly. He does have the potential to convert some strong treasure gardens and also pick up some really good treasures.
Yeah, we see Hazza there picking up the 60 food, as well as 40 coin at the start of the game. Jerry's already got a 100 XP. I mean, how do you feel about that? Would you rather have the coin and food or the XP?
It depends. If the XP treasures are really good for German because Germany get their shipments a bit slower,
Hmm.
but their shipments are a lot better than like other cities. So whenever Germany can pick up XP treasures early, it's actually really good. And even with all civs, if you can get like 100 XP treasure pretty early, that'll allow you to ship your first shipment, your 3 villagers, just that much quicker, and it could pay off, yeah, quite a bit. Just get your economy rolling a bit quicker.
Yeah, and it does actually look like that first shipment may have already come in for Jerry here, thanks to that. We'll see what he sends. At the moment, though, he's going to convert the alligator. He's got the outlaw blowgunner as well, and he's going to be nailing this treasure here for 120 coin, as well as those 3 villagers. So absolutely spot on. 3 villagers, just that little bit sooner, just giving him that early eco boost.
Yeah, it's very nice. Converting blowgunner is pretty popular one. Yeah, Jerimuno just picked up that 120 coin. So with the blowgunner, he's got some range damage and can kind of like hit and
Yeah.
run bills and just be really annoying sometimes.
I mean, he's really strong. I mean, 30 attack damage is pretty huge, right? And he's got a lot of health as well. He's like a souped up musket in H1 here, so it's
Yeah.
pretty nice to have. And it looks like he'll even catch this 105 coin treasure up to the north. So the early treasuring definitely seems to be favoring Jerry. Hazza picking up the 160 food in total and 40 coin. But Jerry here going to be securing quite a lot more once he grabs this 105.
He does lose his blowgunner to the two alligators, crocodiles.
Well, I guess it's worthwhile, right? I mean, he secures the treasure in the end, and
Yeah.
I guess that's more valuable at this point.
Yeah, Hazza is about to pick up a pretty nice treasure himself. I'm not sure if he has sharp shot back yet, but there's a 135 coin treasure these guys' eyes
Dang.
on.
Just one
And
pirate as well.
yeah, he sharp shotted one of the pirates earlier, so now he's waiting for his sharpshoot ability to come
He's got it.
back.
All right. Nice stuff. And they're both up at pretty close timings here. Hazard's going up with the quartermaster. We've got the chief for Jerry. What are you expecting here from Jerry? Are we expecting to see a stable first thing? Or is a corral, sorry?
Yeah, I would think Corel. He did build one TP just to get some increased gather rates, and now throwing down a second TP. It'll be interesting to see how many TPs he decides to add in here, and how he wants to play. If he wants to, I mean, there's so many different ways he can really play this. He can go for like a fast H3. He could try to put pressure on in H2. So it'll be interesting. He's thrown down now actually his fifth TP. So
Wow. Yeah,
uh,
he's really like stacking them, right?
yeah.
Cool. And
Uh,
meanwhile, it looks like he was sort of sitting at the trade post. I mean, TP and TP, right? It's always confusing to me, but I get the gist eventually. Looks like he's thinking about dropping down a trade post there, but I don't know. Would he go for that one, or would he go for the one in the back of his base?
He could go for this one, the one that's a bit forward, and then potentially still have the one back at home to build. And yeah, he is now
Yeah.
building one that's a little bit forward.
And
This age up. Hazza building a TP himself, of course, is as Germans very good and pretty much always want to have a TP as German.
Yeah, and at the moment we're seeing on the left side, really far out on the flank, Hazza with his outpost and building a barracks out there as well with
Wow.
that settler wagon. That's like as far out as you can get.
Yeah, that is pretty surprising. You do not see this very often. Yeah, Germany going with the forward tower and forward barracks, and wow, shipping
Five
5
Ulans.
Ulans. What is he doing?
He's going for the raid, man. What's it look like? Well, it's pretty quick, but these villages should be pretty safe. They're really sort of close at hand and to the TC. They can hop in. Hazza shouldn't get a villager kill here, right? Oh, it's close. This one's stuck.
Oh no!
Oh wow. Okay, there you go.
I thought he had him blocked there. Oh, there's another one gathering. Is he gonna get him? No.
Yeah, he's in, right?
Yeah, he got in. Yeah, villager was
Wow.
safe. Well, one does go down. One build does go down. Let's see. Units in queue. Oh, bull riders. This could be
Well,
bye-bye to these Ulans.
yeah, and I'm just thinking right now, like, is it worth it at this point? You know, he goes in with 5 Ulans. Obviously, it was a shipment sent, right? But at the same time, he sent 5 Ulans and killed 2 Vills, and in return, Jerry sends 5 villagers.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a Jerimuno laughing. He left one Ulan at home right underneath his TC, and it forced Jerimuno to bring back every single villager in the TC, and he still lost one villager there to that single Ulan.
Yeah, that sucks. But at the moment, it's actually Hazza who's ahead in economic population. Obviously, sending those 3 settler wagons, so just a little better. He's actually going to find the barracks out on the left side as well as some of these settler wagons. So see if he can actually kill that off. Those axe riders hit real hard, and it looks like he'll take down the settler wagon. So, I spoke too soon. 20 HP, man.
Yeah, that would have been a really nice pickup. Oh, and that was actually before Hazza researched greatcoats. He's researching greatcoats right now, which will give his villagers more HP.
Yeah, he's got that in, but oh boy, I mean, Jerry would have been so pleased if he could pick that one settler wagon, kind of make up for those early lost vills. He did clean up the Ulans in the end, and at the moment, it looks like he's got more units available to fight with. He's got the axe riders and the bow riders here, and meanwhile, we've got the pike and crossbow from Hazza at this point.
Yeah, very interesting. 16 bows coming in for Jerimuno right now. Hazza's moving out on the map, and this is not going to go well for him, I don't think. Oh, he is pulling back now. Yeah, Hazza might get caught here really poorly.
What do you think he needs here? More pike or more crossbow? Like, what's the composition for him?
I just don't like Expo Pike here. It does not seem good, and I think Jerimuno is going to wreck him in this fight, and it's going to look very good for Jerimuno.
He absolutely does. He does a really good job picking off the pikes, and obviously those crossbows are absolutely toast with no meat shield in front. Do you think he'll even siege the outpost? If he gets the outpost here, he could kill all those settler wagons. I think there's like 3 settler wagons inside.
Yeah, there's a lot of villagers here gathering. Trying to pick off these pikes, finish off these pikes here. And yeah, Hazza's not in the best situation here.
Can he siege this though? Like, does he actually have the siege?
Yeah, he can. It'll take some time. It depends what he has in queue here. Maybe he might be queuing up some more axe riders. Yeah, here's some more axe riders here, so they'll have to do with the siege.
Cool. Well, he's actually backing away for now. He knows that he can keep pressuring this, but I mean, you've got to be pretty comfortable in this position as Jerry, right? Like, your potential to do damage now is pretty huge. 25 military versus 7. And the problem is he's behind economically, right? Like, he probably needs to find some way to damage Hazza's economy.
Yeah, and here we go. We got some war clubs, 7 war clubs just being shipped. So these are the pike equivalent for the Sioux. And I think it's go time for Jerimuno. He's able to take down this outpost and the barracks. Could be a very good pickup. Hazza running his settler wagons just in time.
Oh, he sent the doppelsodners forward. That's pretty good, but they're not on the cav, right? That can't be good for Hazza. This can't be a great fight, even with the doppelsodner coming in.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good for Jerimuno because the dops just weren't really there. The rest of the army was a bit too far back, and the dops went down pretty quickly there.
Yeah. What do you think? It's looking pretty good for the Sioux right now.
Yeah, definitely. These expos are going to get caught, and they're just going to get completely cleaned up here. and Hazza is just losing his entire military force here.
Yeah, let's see the shipments sent here as well, so you guys can see on the stream if you've just tuned in. We got a lot of military shipments coming in for the Sioux. We might see some more military shipments for Hazza, but he just sent 700 wood. Obviously got the 2 Ulans
Oh,
from that as well.
you see where he shipped that 700 wood?
Yeah, right to the outpost. Oh dear.
Yeah, that's not good.
This is
Just
not
as
good.
he's trying to gather it very quickly. Oh, Jerimuno pulling every single bull rider back and like giving Hazza the opportunity to gather that wood.
He's so scared of those Ulan. It's crazy, right? Just 2
Yeah.
Ulan sending everything back at the moment. And I should hope he doesn't kill a villager here, but yeah, it looks like he'll get cleaned up. Some dog
Dog.
soldiers coming out as well. Isn't that a bit early for those?
That's actually just a shipment, an H2 shipment.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
my bad. I thought there was like the
right. The
I'm
timing
getting
one.
confused, yeah, with the timing one, yeah. But yeah, it looks like he's going to siege this down. He'll pay a small price for it, really. He's losing a few units. I don't know if Hazza can really actually defend this anymore. I mean, even if he trains more units from the barracks, he's so outnumbered.
Yeah, not looking good, and he's going to lose these 2 cellular wagons. That was a pretty interesting thing to look at. How Hazza, he messed up. He accidentally shipped the 700 wood to his forward outpost, which is it can sometimes be an easy mistake to happen. But when that happens, you're so mad at yourself. But what Hazza did right after that was really good. Like most players would, lose the outpost and then just lose the 700 wood, and their opponent would gather all the wood, and that would be a massive loss. But Hazza was able to get Jerimuno pull back like his entire force by raiding, and able to gather like all that wood.
Yeah, that was pretty good just with the 2 Ulans. And you know what, as well, Jerry just caught 2 more villagers grabbing the coin at the north of the map. So that's 2 settler wagons, sorry. So economically, they're actually both quite even right now. And meanwhile, Hazza building a stable back at home as the bow riders, yeah, mostly just the bow riders coming in, looking to pick up some villages here. And the dog soldiers still sort of roaming around, seeing what they can find. Looks like Hazza was trying to get a wall up at the front of his base, but he had to abandon that pretty quickly. And meanwhile, full map control for Jerry, but Hazza about to click up, I think. Like, he's just sent 700 coin. Oh, sorry, he is almost up. Yeah, you're right. And he sent that coin, I noticed, and the H3 here coming in. Like, what do you think this is gonna? Is this gonna actually turn this around for?
No, it's just there's 54 military population to 0. Minutemen being called. I'm not too sure what they're gonna do. I'm not sure if there's villagers in this outpost. I didn't really see. Looks like maybe not. So Hessa does get to H3. But yeah, I mean, 6 military, and they're actually Minutemen, compared to a 64 military population from Jerimuno. So not going to be an easy one to come back when.
He sent the cavalry hit points as well, so Jerry here really just committed to this colonial aggression. He's up, but what is he going to actually be able to do with this age?
Yeah.
I'm expecting some shipment to come through any minute, right?
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't even have a shipment now. He's
going to get it now, yeah.
And these 7 or 5 skirmishers are getting caught by these dog soldiers.
Oh boy, this isn't going to be good. It's kind of overwhelmed, and I guess at some point there's almost like a point of no return. We'll see what he ships, though. I don't know, what do you think he's going to send?
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing to send. He can ship maybe skirmishers, and then the 2 dog soldiers just kill all the skirmishers, or ship war wagons. I guess that'd be your best thing. But the bow riders just kill them instantly. Yeah, there's really not much Hez can do from here.
Villagers getting picked off as well. Has his eco going idle, and there you go, war wagons coming out. He's going to catch one of those dog soldiers immediately. Got the
there we go, 5
well.
war pop, and then make 3. I mean, it was definitely the best thing he could have done. Gonna try to take down these bow riders, but let's see how this one goes here.
And these war wagons are really like value for money, right? Though.
Yeah, war wagons are really strong. Has doing a really good job microing them, like picking away at these bow riders. Sioux Explorer is down, so bow riders a little less health, but bow riders are gonna ultimately catch these war wagons. Man, these war wagons look like they're just wide.
They're running away, and obviously as well, we also saw the cavalry damage coming in right as that fight was starting off. So Jerry's going to get that little bit of extra damage as he comes in here as well. Catches those war wagons right up to the edge of the map. They just want to squeeze out of there, but eventually they're all going down by the looks of things. And that also opens up his base to more raiding. There's nothing else at home. There's axe riders and dog soldiers in here from Jerry raiding the villagers there as he sort of converges on these war wagons and takes them all out. It's pretty unfortunate for Hazza. He can't get enough done with that. What does he need though? I mean, like, even if he makes more war wagons, it doesn't seem like that's going to be enough at this point.
Yeah, his timing was a bit off. If he could have got to H3 a little bit sooner and got these war wagons just a little bit sooner, he might have been okay, because it was looking like that little massive war wagons, he was looking like he was hitting and running and microing them really good. And yeah, I guess war wagons can be pretty good versus Su, especially in H2 Su without the access to Akina. Some skirmishers are coming out now. Hazza does ship an eight skirmisher, so he's trying to put a military force together. But here we go, Jerimuno now moving in with all of his bow riders again.
Yeah, it's quite a big force, like a strong force, but I mean, it's just, again, like sort of numbers working out here for Jerry. We'll see if he can win this fight. It looks like, once again, Hazza's trying to sort of hit and run, micro backwards a little bit. We've got more axe riders coming in as well. And most of those skirms already going down. I mean, they're just melting under the bow riders. But the bow riders don't even care. They're like, let me get to the war wagons here.
Yeah, just run right through Hazza's force here. Ooh, some Mulan's picking up some raids, nice little raids, but yeah, the military force is very different. Su Explorer now again waking up, getting back into the fight.
Yeah, I'm just wondering though, will he actually catch these Ulan? I mean, they're getting quite a lot of villager kills over here. That's kind of what Hazza needs at this point, and it doesn't look like there's any response from Jerry at this point either. He's lost so many vills to these 3 Ulan already.
Yeah, Ulans are just such amazing raiders. Essentially always want to have a couple raiding, and especially in these games where you moving units around, it's really scrappy and units are everywhere. But here's a giant raid.
Oh boy.
So
yeah, that's going to hurt a lot more than the 4 Ulan. That's about, like, what, 15, 20 bow riders there. And that's a lot of dead villagers as well. Even settler wagons going down. So that's catching Hazza out. Like, he doesn't have any map control, so he can't get out on the map. He can't take the coin, which is all sort of a little bit too far away for him to protect. And I guess at this point, when you've got all your villagers locked inside of your TC, there's not really much you're going to be able to do. You're just kind of lacking that resource income, and you're struggling to actually make enough units to actually get on top at any point.
Yeah, Hazza getting these 7 skirmishers, it's always so interesting seeing all these German unit shipments. They're so strong. But Hazza, he just couldn't get his force together at the same time. His unit shipments kept getting picked off little by little. Like, he couldn't mass up a big force. He had to kind of constantly trade his units back and forth. He wasn't given the opportunity to like mass up that kind of like death ball unit force.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that Hazza had going for him all this time is like he had this economic lead. But at this point, after that raid, Jerry's got the economic lead as well. So it's only sort of logical he's going to be able to keep up this pressure. We do see some more Ulan raiding, though. Like, he's trying to sort of do the damage. He's trying to find the villagers. But, I think Jerry's quite quick to react, and he's going to catch the Ulan out here as well by the looks of things.
Yeah, and the bow riders are moving in on that gold mine. He knows that Hazza was gathering from this gold mine. So they're just moving in, small force, fighting these skirmishers.
So at what point here does the Su want to think about aging? I just noticed he sent 600 gold after 700 gold coins. Sorry, do you think he's wanting to age at some point, or does he just win the game now? Yeah, I think he just wins the game now.
Yeah, I'd say just keep the aggression on. Don't give Germany a chance to stabilize, and just he needs to get out on the map to get resources. So just keep up with the aggression.
Yeah, and I think at some point in that game, Jerry's just kind of past the point of no return. He's just in the position where, as long as he keeps finding those villages and as long as he keeps raiding Hazza and keeping his military numbers low, he's going to get away with it and just start snowballing the game in his favor. You look where he's grabbing the hunt here in the middle of the map. Hazza's lucky if he can even get out to the gold mine on the left. And yeah, Jerry's just taking all the hunt, taking all the coin. He's not in any trouble at all. I mean, there's a few Ulan raids coming in here and there, but in the end, it's just nothing compared to the amount of bow riders and the potential that Jerry had to do raiding in return.
Yeah, I was very surprised with Haz's opening. Deciding to build that outpost and barracks and do a very unconventional play in this game. And I wonder what he was thinking when he did this. Because I did notice in the first round, round 64, he played versus hasn't played versus a much weaker opponent. And then the first game, I think he did like a native scout rush, which is just like an unviable strategy, and it's just like an auto loss if you try doing it. It's just kind of like a troll strategy. And he ended up like losing his first game to a much weaker opponent, but then he came back and
Mm.
like won the next 3 games easily. So I wonder if like Hazza wanted to just like throw in some cheese and just do some weird strategy, and
Yeah,
just
you
try
don't
to
know if you don't
that.
try, do you? But at the same time, well, I guess this is the upper bracket. Hazard should be favored in this matchup, so yeah, I guess you got to try those wacky strategies sometimes, see if they can work out. But he's always got that insurance policy that hey, if it doesn't work out, I've got the rest of the series, and hey, there's always the lower bracket as well. But I'm pretty sure Hazard doesn't want to throw games and end up in the lower bracket. So
Right, right.
I
But
don't know.
yeah, I definitely agree. At the same time, has I think he could be like very confident, maybe too overconfident and cocky, and just think he can like get away doing like really silly stuff, and maybe like demoralizing your opponent a bit.
Yeah, maybe. But we'll see now the sort of post game stats, military count there. Obviously, Hazza sort of pulling ahead in the early game with the 5 Ulan that he shipped first and that forward barracks. But you opened that with pike and crossbow, and you said you didn't like that. What do you think he should have done instead? Do you think there would have been a better play for him there in the early game?
Yeah, so I think the more standard build for Has there would have been to build a military building at home. Probably open with the barracks, but build the barracks, like underneath your town center. Make some units in H2 to put on a little bit of aggression and just hold off H2 aggression, but go for a timing where you can get to H3 pretty early with German, and that's where you get your H3 shipments coming in really quickly, and you just get that really strong Germany H3 military force. But he decided to play H2. Like it's very rare that you see people play German H2. I mean, sometimes they can pull things off.
Mhm.
It's definitely unconventional, but by no means it definitely can work. And it was just a really good job by Jerimuno, just capitalizing, finding that forward base, and picking off those units pretty early.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a fun game to watch, and I'm still fairly new to AoE3, so I'm enjoying just seeing the different flavors of these civilizations and sort of seeing how they all play out very differently. It's kind of awesome, like that you have these very asymmetrical civs. But just real quick, thank you to A's for the host earlier on. Sorry I missed that. Robo with the resub. And I will spank you, gifting a sub as well to Zeely Flower. Thank you very much. And thank you, Milmano, the mailman, coming in with a 2-month resub with Prime. Thank you very much for the support. Hope you're enjoying the game so far today, guys. And again, apologies, we can't really talk to you in real time because there's a 2-minute delay. But we take a look at the lobby now. We're going to see the next map is going to be Deccan and the Civs. It looks like they're both locked in. Jerry starting with India and Hazza going for the Britons. And we've seen as well Kamchatka and Baja California being vetoed. How important do you think the vetoes are here? Do you think the vetoes are sort of critical, or do you think the maps, it's at this point in the tournament, it's not going to make a really big difference?
I think the vetoes can be important. They're probably more important for players that don't have a really large civilization pool. Because a lot of times, on certain maps, some civs are much better than other civs.
Mm-hmm.
But with both these players, I think they do have pretty large civilization pools where they feel really comfortable with multiple civs. But at the same time, you of course try to veto and the maps you dislike and to try to get matchups you would like to see.
All right. So on Deccan then, we've got our third game coming up. It's currently 1-1 to both players. Deccan will be our next map. Hazza with the Brits and Jerry with the Indians as we go into our third game. And Deccan is a map which I am more familiar with, to be honest. This is the only map that I play. Deccan 3v3 all day, every day.
Yes, this is like the PR 25 below.
Hey, that's me.
Those people love this map.
Oh, yes, we do. So spawning into the west of the map in the red, it is Hazza. He has got the British and looked like a 500 would start, as Introjection would say. Over to the east in the blue, it's Jerry playing as the Indians. And he's there in the blue. So Deccan is the map, of course. We'll see players moving out across the plateau immediately, looking for those water buffalo. And in fact, it's only Jerry moving out for the water buffalo with one of his explorers, one of his scouts. Both of them, meanwhile, building a TP up in the north with that extra wood, of course, and going to get that early trade post up.
Yeah, so this is a pretty interesting one. It's nice that Jerimuno does have two explorers, so he was able to use one of them to build the trading post, and
Yeah.
meanwhile the other one was able to get yaks, which is pretty nice. And for a lot of players or a lot of viewers, a lot of you guys are from AoE2, you guys probably aren't aware of this, but with India, you actually cannot eat your hurdles. So they don't give you food, but they actually give you XP trickle over time. So Jerimuno's pausing here.
Okay, he's got a mouse problem, but seems like he'll fix that. And there you go, sorted. But yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously they're not just cows to the Indians; they're sacred cows.
Yes.
And as you say, they give them experience over time. Like how valuable is that experience though? And you know, is it going to make a significant difference if he grabs all of the water buffalo versus say only getting 2 or 3?
Yeah, it definitely can be. I mean, if you have like 8 water buffaloes, that can be like a TP, basically, like
Okay.
essential to like a trading post.
Right.
Jeremy trying to get these 3 water buffaloes back home safe. He did lose one. Um, trying to get these 3 home. Yeah, he's got 7 right now, so pretty nice.
Yeah, that's solid 7, right? I mean, that's probably like a TP then in that case, right?
Yeah, maybe probably a little bit less. It'd be interesting to see what majority of the community would say, but I mean, probably maybe a little bit less than TP, but definitely a nice XP trickle.
Hazza's also going to spot the trading post to the north as he starts to think about treasuring. Maybe he'll go for this 100 food with the 2 lions up here. He will. And I don't think we've seen much treasuring out of the blue player yet, Jerry. He's going for the 50 wood at the back of his base. Obviously, the 500 wood start was not enough. He needs another 50. And he's going to grab that right now. But what are we expecting? I mean, I've played the Britons quite a lot, actually. You know, you see Hazza now moving over to the wood. He's getting his gang saw upgrade. He's going to be going to drop down a few, manor houses. I'm just looking for the right overlay stuff here. I'm still kind of new to this, so give me a second while I figure out what I want to see here. Shipment sent. There we go. And we've got units in queue, text being researched as well. But he's going up here with the governor, and we've got Agrafort coming in for Jerry. He's building that obviously quite far forward on the plateau here.
Yeah, so take a look at the shipments then. Both of them are the standard Age 1 shipments for both civilizations. With India, you do just ship the wood trickle. And with every single shipment that India sends, they get 1 villager. So Jerimuno got the wood trickle with 1 villager. And yeah, he's throwing down an aggro in the middle of the map there.
But looks like we've got VC coming in for Hazza. He's going to be going for the mass manor houses, using them as a wall as well. I actually really like this, right? Because if your opponent wants to get into your base and they want to break down your wall, well, they're going to have to kill a manor house, which means, hey, you can rebuild it later on and get another villager for free, which is actually a pretty nice way of looking at it, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I was interested and kind of surprised when Hazza chose British versus India, because it can be a tough matchup for British. Some people have different opinions, but generally, I would say most people think this is slightly a tough matchup for Brits. But on
Okay.
this map plays so different. You know, you start with like so many
Mm.
resources. It makes your game very non-standard just from the very beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and just thinking about with all the resources you start with, you can
Wow.
easily build a trading post and then ship Virginia Company. And yeah, it allows you, the British player, to get an insane boom going with Virginia Company.
And okay, okay. He's
Oh,
not playing standard
I
at all. Look at this. Hazza
told you.
dropping the meme strats right now. Okay, so
Yeah.
not only is he doing Virginia Company and like going way into manor houses, like he's keeping every villager on wood pretty much, building like way more manor houses than we might expect, walling with them as well, and then in the
Oh my
back
God,
building a saloon.
I'm so confused. He's building a second market. What is
What? Oh,
happening?
he is. What is
Oh
he
my
doing?
God. I do not
Okay.
know what's happening right now.
It's a bait market, right? Like, I don't know.
He's
Either way, this is something else. This is something else.
yes. Yeah, I mean this series is tied 1-1. Has a It's very strange to see him pulling out these like very unorthodox strategies.
Right,
But
right.
I mean maybe he's curious to see just like what's in the saloon because it's it's always different. So taking a look at the saloon, if you click on it, you can see
Yeah.
which units are in it. Um,
We've got thuggies, we've got decoys, we've got Swiss pikes and ninjas.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The thing that I mean, thuggies are not really that great in H2. Sometimes you can get really good mercenaries in H3. Swiss Pike can be
Mm.
good, um, but I mean they're really good versus Cav. I don't think they'd be very good in this matchup. Oh wow, he is
He's
making
gone for the
thuggies.
thuggies anyway. Okay then. All right. Oh my god, this is insane. And not only that, like he's building so many manners. 41 eco versus 28 right now. We saw two sepoys coming forward, and then Jerry's like, nah, I'm leaving. Jerry's sitting back quite far. He's going for the consulate right now. Do you think he's going to go for the Ottoman consulate here, send the Vils?
Yeah, definitely. So Jerimuno is playing this very economically himself,
Mm,
shipping the wood trickle as his first H2 shipment, and then shipping 300 export.
yeah.
The only thing that worries me about this strategy is it kind of seems like he's trying to outboom a British Virginia company, which
Yes.
is not an easy task and maybe suicide.
Well, it's already not going well if you look at the eco unit population. I mean, Hazza's so greedy here, you know? Like he's kept so many villagers on wood for so long to build way more manors than you might expect, I think, as well. And I just love the way he's using them to wall. This is going to kind of get very deathbally very quickly, I think, if something isn't done. But I don't really know what can Jerry do at this point.
Yeah, I mean, looking back to what I said, obviously the saloon is very non-standard, and
Hmm.
on first look it appears like it's cheese and kind of like an very unorthodox, not the smartest move. But it also might just be a 200 IQ play by Hazza, knowing that he can get the thuggies out and that they can be pretty good at holding off with a sepoy. So maybe he just wants to throw the saloon down and get out some thuggies and just to defend from any sepoy pressure and then sneak up to
Yeah.
H3.
But it is a bit like rolling the dice, right? Like
Yeah,
you don't know if what's going to be in the saloon until you build it, right?
yeah, I believe. Man, you see saloons so infrequently, but I believe on every map, I think the H2 mercenaries are always fixed. Like I think the
Okay.
H2s, yeah. So I believe I would expect that Hasn't knew that the thuggies were in this. Um, yeah, I believe
Okay.
that's true, and I think the H3 ones are random.
Well, I mean, credit to Jerry, though. I mean, he didn't go all in here and go for a big push. He's kind of playing this very economically himself. As a result, though, he's 9 villages behind, technically. And at the meanwhile, building his second building. It's the Taj Mahal. And we've got the Adventurer coming in for Hazza as they both go up to the Fortress Age now.
Yeah, and just looking at the economic unit population, Hazel's quite ahead. But yeah, both players are not or about to be in H3. Wow, look at Jerimuno's population, and look at Hazard's.
Wow.
He was at
Oh my
40.
god.
Now
His
he's at.
military unit population is huge.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we're wow.
It's the
That's not
10
fair.
thuggies, right?
Oh
They
yeah, okay.
how much did they must
Still
take
six
like
top,
they must take like 4.
yeah. They had six population.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you click on them. You could hover over them. 150 coin and 6 population.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. Okay, that's insane. That's why it's 65 military to 2. I mean, they're
Yeah,
strong, right? But are they really deserving of 6 pop? That seems like a bit much.
yeah, I would agree.
Well, anyway, for
Nice.
now he's got lots of population headroom to play with. I mean, he's fully boomed with the manas. He's up to 200 headroom now, and Hazza's just looking at filling it up. So,
Ooh. Yeah, it looks like Jerimuno is actually going for the fast industrial as you look at
wow,
his resources. He actually ships 9 Seapoy. I don't know. I mean, he's
there
going
it
for the
is.
fast industrial. Maybe to help hold off any pressure.
Hmm.
And I would not be surprised to see Fast Industrial and Seaboy and Yurumi. Uh,
All right. And meanwhile, I mean, how are the Arumi going to do here? They should do well, right, against everything here.
yeah, yeah, they will do pretty good. Yeah, actually, they'll do really good versus. But I don't really expect Yurumi too soon. Jeremino did just
Hmm.
age up, so he does have a shipment available. He did just
He
ship
just
some.
sent it though.
Was it Yurumi? He did ship. Did his food go down?
Not sure, but he definitely shipped something right there. We'll see what it is in just a moment. Obviously, meanwhile, Hazza shipping the 2 Falconets and showing those to Jerry as well as he takes down the Agra fort in the middle of the map. Jerry has now probably got his buttocks very clenched because this is coming in and he's got nothing to deal with it at the moment.
Yeah, so the Taj Mahal it does actually give a ceasefire ability. Ceasefire lasts pretty briefly, so we may see a ceasefire coming in soon. A lot of times, Indian players like to do the ceasefire and then get their Yurumi and allow them to get their Yurumi right on top of the military to get really
Oh,
good game. Here
he
we
actually
go.
sent 2 siege elephants. Would they? They're
Yeah,
more like Corvs, right? They should pick off the Falconets, if I'm not mistaken.
exactly. Yeah, they work just like wolves.
All right.
What is underneath the TC of Jerimuno? He's trying to gather it up here. Ooh, 5 Hussar are now on the field here, though. And the Seapoy are very far away from these elephants. These elephants
Yeah.
might just get cut off and picked
Oh
off.
no, he's
Ooh,
deleted them.
just delete them. Yeah.
That
Wow.
hurts. I
Still
think
playing.
Jerry might be slightly tilted right now.
Yeah. Yep.
This is insane. Like, he has nothing. He has absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
He's not
Uh,
used to ceasefire, though, has he?
yeah, he did not use his ceasefire, which is, he deleted those 2 elephants while having the ceasefire ability. Might make you scratch your head a little bit.
Just a little. He sends the redcoats now. He's obviously got the disciplined sepoy. He gets the redcoats out before the consulate gets barraged down by the falconets. And, well, he's still waiting for that shipment, right? Like, he could send the 9 Arumi, but he hasn't got a shipment to send them with. So it's all well and good having the food, but it's really wasted on the siege elephants at this point.
Yeah, so the thing is with the ceasefire, it has like very long cooldown, so you only get it like once every 5 minutes. So if Jerimuno used it, it just would have been gone. He wouldn't have had it for a long time. So like I said, usually Indian he just resigns without
Yep.
even using it. But yeah, a lot of times Indian players like to get their Yurumi pop, then ceasefire, then get their Yurumis right in the middle of the army, and
Right,
then
right.
it goes away, and the Yurumi, can do what they do best.
Oh boy, Hazza there, 191 population at the end of that game in 12 minutes, and meanwhile Jerry's sitting at 49, just kind of looking a little bit unprepared for that. What was the best response for him? Do you think when he saw the wall and boom from Hazza that maybe the play was to get aggressive at that point, or do you think sitting back and playing an eco game was still the best choice?
Yeah, I did not like Jermino's strategy here. I mean, like I said, he tried to like out boom, out eco a British Virginia company boom, and yeah, I mean, if you just let the British Virginia company boom for free, that can be very, very scary.
Yeah, and as we saw, it was very scary. But my God, Hazza starting with the saloon there, that was awesome. And I guess it is a little bit like rolling the dice. But as you said, maybe he knew the Thuggies were in there, and he went for those guys specifically as well. And I mean, that was just impressive from Hazza, really. And I feel like Jerry just kind of let that happen. He didn't really seem to do much at any point to stop it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to ask Hazza about this second market.
Yeah, right. Like, what's that all about?
Like a pro wall or spinning.
Advanced walling, man.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't pick up on this, but he grabbed the 2 trade posts at the bottom of the map as well. And he was even building a TC in the middle of the map, just on the back of that push. But yeah, Jerry didn't really put up much of a fight in the end there, and I don't think we'll spend too long looking at the post-game stats. Just in awe, really, at the all-unit count there. Just, oh, that's
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Britain boom for you.
exactly. That's the British Virginia company. He had much larger military, and he was also, doing a crazy boom, grabbing two more TPs and throwing down a town center. So yeah, Hazza was just free to do whatever he wanted.
Yeah, awesome game, really enjoyable, and I think I hope I put the score on the right player there, but it is 2-1 to Hazza now, as we're about to go into game number 4 on New England. At this point, it's match point, and if Hazza wins the next game, then he'll take the series. We're looking for Jerry to fight back here, see if he can equalize things and actually get himself back into this. Maybe he'll get a better Civ matchup this time. Hazza will have to pick first, and that gives Jerry the opportunity to counter pick. What's good for New England? What civs are you thinking here? Obviously, there's that element of land and water, as we can jump into the lobby and see what they pick.
Yeah, definitely. So New England is a very classic map. It's been in the game, I believe, since release on their ESO version, and for a long time, New England was not a tournament map. It was never in like these tournament pools. And recently on EP, I guess they made minor tweaks to the map just to make sure that it's balanced. You don't get imbalanced spawns. But I'm really happy that they did that because it's a very fun and very unique map. And like you said, with these middle ponds, you can ship boats in there, and there's just very interesting and different ways to play it. So I'm really happy that they brought it back into the tournament map pool.
Yeah, it's an interesting map, and it's like you say, got those two ponds which always provide quite a lot of entertainment and give you a lot of potential control over those four TPs in the middle as well. But looks like we've got the Spanish pick from Hazza. This is a civ which I think I've seen a few times on this map actually, and then we've got Jerry going for Portuguese, but I don't think he's locked that in just yet. So we'll have to wait and see if he changes it. But what would you pick against the Spanish in this case?
I do like Spain. Spain's pretty good. They have really good fast H3, and they also have Schooner, so they can do like a bolt boom at the same time.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think Spain's a pretty good pick on this map. Um, I mean, French could be pretty good. I always like French versus Spain. What
Yeah,
else?
French are pretty solid, right? Like just in general, they're a very all-round civ.
Yeah, and a lot of times Spain can be all about getting the H3 super early and just shipping units over and over and over and just getting this like death ball and pushing on your opponent's town center. But with French, you have those really strong villagers with just really tanky villagers, and they
Mm.
can really help hold off
They
that
can
pressure.
actually fight back.
Yeah, yeah, really
They
can.
don't just take a sword to the back and like, oh well, this is my life now. They actually turn around and shoot them with the guns that they have. So, I kind of like the innovative approach of the French. They've got quite a good thing going there. But I don't know. It says he needs a deck. I guess he's not thought about it too much. Maybe he didn't think you'd get to game 4. I mean, that's kind of a little bit disappointing for him. But there you go. He's clicked in now. It will be Spain versus the Portuguese. Jerry picking up the Portuguese and locking it in. So when you guys are ready, we'll show the sib screen and we'll get into the next game. All right, we're loading in, and there you go. So game number 4, it's currently 2-1 to Hazza. Jerry needs to get this win, otherwise Hazza will take the series with a 3-1 victory. We're loading into New England next. It's going to be Hazza taking the Spanish and Jerry on the Portuguese. Looking forward to this one. What do you think about the Portuguese? You said you liked the French. How do you feel about the Ports?
I really like ports. Ports are a very good pick on this map too. They are very good at sea booming. There's a lot of sea on this map. And yeah, I think it's a very, very good pick. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. And I know I believe you casted Soldier versus Gardra series in the last week or so, and it was on this.
Yeah.
I think it was on the same map in the same exact matchup.
Yeah, I don't think I actually cast that one myself. I think Maito was casting with
Oh, was that?
Will. But yeah, I can't remember. I do remember seeing the games though, and I do remember seeing a lot of shenanigans with the ponds. But spawning down to the south of the map in the red, it will be Hazza taking the Spanish for this match, and then up in the north in the blue once again, it's Jerry, and he's playing as the Portuguese. So yeah, we're expecting to see a lot of unit shipments, perhaps from the Spanish here. and maybe looking to control the center of the map, lock down the TPs perhaps, and obviously Jerry, what's his sort of game plan here? What's his approach against the Spanish?
Yeah, yeah. So both players, there definitely could be a fight for these TPs. And as we're seeing Hazza right now picking up a treasure, Cherokee Rifleman, that's really good. He's going to help a lot to really secure this TP line. So that could be pretty bad for Jerimuno, as Jerimuno might want to build some trading posts here. And Hazza has a dog, his Explorer, and a Cherokee Rifleman to potentially kill Jerimuno's Explorer as he's attempting to build trading posts.
Right, so just having those extra units out is kind of giving him the opportunity to sort of prevent that from happening and control the map a little bit. I like that a lot, and maybe even help with treasuring as well. He's going to stumble across 90 food here and immediately start taking that. And meanwhile, we saw Jerry taking 90 food as well as a 80 food treasure up to the north of the map. So he's a little bit ahead on the resource treasures, but I expect Hazza will probably catch up now that he's got these extra support units to help his explorer out.
Yeah, and taking a look at Hazza's deck, he is ready for water. He's got a water deck. He also has advanced trading post, so he
Oh,
could
for
also
sure.
secure that trading block, trading line, and then go see.
Yeah, Jerry's deck, meanwhile, he's put schooners in there. He's got the frigate and the caravels, as well as improved warships. So he's also ready for the water. He's even got the whale oil in there as well. So even advanced trading posts, so it's kind of similar for both, in fact. They're both very geared for the water here. And I'm hoping we'll actually see quite a bit of action on the water. It's something that I really enjoy about this game. Just kind of watching the warships, they're so amazing. But
Yeah,
meanwhile, we've got the age up coming in. Jerry going up here with the quartermaster.
this is what I was talking about. Jerimuno does ship advanced trading post. Hazza's army and little H1 army is a bit away.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, right now they could be denying these trading posts. This would be huge if Hazza had his little army here, attacking the explorer and this villager. He could just straight up deny both of these trading posts. But they're slightly out of position, and I think Hazza should have been, just kind of camping on these trading posts more rather than going for these treasures. Because yeah, now Hazza is sending villager forward. He is going to see these two trading posts, but one of them is going to for sure get up.
yeah. The other one, I mean, the Explorer builds it much faster, right? So I don't know if you can maybe get on there with the Explorer. It's kind of awkward because this villager probably won't survive this with the Cherokee Rifleman, the hunting dog as well. He's going to use the Explorer though. Maybe just try and force this trading post to go up. I wonder, it's going to be a close one. The Explorer's going down really quickly, but that TP is going to happen by the looks of things. I don't want to call it too soon. Oh no, he just got the dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so close.
Be close. Ooh.
Oh, he got it. He got it.
Yeah, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. If Hazza was like just a little more out on the map, he could have
Right.
easily found his explorer and denied both of these.
And his scout just came back up again. His explorer came up, and he's going to kill it again immediately for an extra 45 XP for free. So that's quite nice. Meanwhile, the TP on the top also coming up. The villager here getting low, but the dogs are a little far back. I wonder if he'll get this one up as well. This is going to be clutch.
Yeah, nice little distraction. Jerimuno is able to move his town center forward and just throw it down right behind this TP line. Oh, and the villager does go down, yeah,
Yeah.
so that TP doesn't get up.
So it looks like it'll end up being 2 TPs for both. And so far, nothing on the water yet. Both players sending advanced trading post. And we're waiting probably for that second shipment to come in at some point. There it is, 700 coin for Jerry. What do you think the 700 coin indicates here?
Let's see. I'm not so. Let's see. Okay, he does have a barrack, so he may be just trying to get some units out, and I think they're just gonna be fighting over this TP line.
Mm.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna try to get some units out and hold down this TP line. You really don't want to give this up. Like a 4 TP stagecoach is just so good, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm so surprised by Hazza. Like with the dogs and his Cherokee Rifleman, it would have been so easy for him to find the Portuguese explorer, and he literally could have killed the explorer and denied Jerimuno any of the
All of
TP.
them.
And
Yeah.
with shipping advanced trading posts, that could have been that would have been a massive loss for Jeremy. Shipping advanced TP and then moving all 4 trading posts. But instead has his units were a little bit out of position, and Jerimuno was able to get two of them up.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's funny. He just did. He just resurrected his explorer again, and then if died again, 3 times now in about as many minutes. So it's a full experience going the way of Hazza. I think Jerry's a little bit frustrated about that, but he did trade some musketeers. Obviously, like you say, he's got that forward TC as well, so he can sort of protect this trade line a little bit. And then Hazza has his outpost as well. We've also seen Hazza moving his home city flag to the water, the pond. So it looks like we might see a boat coming through there at some point. Maybe the two caravels to come a little bit later on. But oh, in fact, there they are.
Yeah, good timing for Hazza. He's going to be able to prevent this tower from going down. Jerimuno was able to pick off a villager there, so that was a nice little pickup. And now Hazza's firing away these advanced trading posts. And just to mention about the Explorer, the Explorer always does get revived when he gets to about like 100 HP. He just gets revived automatically. So it's not like Jerimuno didn't pay the 100 coins to get the Explorer back.
No, he would have spawned at his TC if he did that, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But still, it's kind of annoying. Every time he comes back up, he dies again. But here come the muskets. He's going to see if he can find some villagers here. Hazza's paying close attention and hops back into the TC. Not a lot that Jerimuno is going to find, but he will certainly lose that trading post. That is a given at this point. He has no way to deal with these caravels, and I think he's not too happy about this one. Fun map, he says in the chat.
Yeah, with competitive players, I think it's usually they either love this map or they hate this map because it's just such a unique map, and some players don't like that aspect. But as a viewer, I think it's very entertaining. And here we go, Miniman Pop is coming. Muskets are just trying to run away from this.
Yeah, there's no point standing and fighting and just giving him more free experience. And again, the fourth time now, the Explorer's got up and immediately died to the outpost. Oh man, it's like Groundhog Day for this guy. Every day he wakes up and it's the same over and over. But yeah, he's going to get away from the Minutemen at least. And meanwhile, Hazza's going for the barracks. It looks like, I mean, maybe we'll see Fortress Age coming in next, because I don't think there's much that Jerry can do. I think he's feeling that at the moment. But Hazza already reaching the Fortress Age, and he just seems to be that one step ahead once again.
Yeah, Hazza's trying to throw down markets, and also barracks is coming down here. He doesn't really have anything to hold off this pressure right now immediately. Let's see, and he doesn't have a shipment yet available yet. So he's pulling in his Minutemen now to try to start picking off of these muskets. And wow.
Okay. Well, that's it. He calls GG.
Okay.
Are you surprised by that? You sound surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Jerimuno, like, there's no military. Hess doesn't have any military. Jerimuno's the one that's on top of Hess's TC.
Yeah, right. And
mean,
he's got the eco lead as well. I mean, obviously, once he clicks up to age 3, Hazza's going to catch up economically there. But, he's not in a terrible position.
Yeah, definitely not. Obviously, very strange. Resign, probably more of a rage quit. Maybe just looking at score, he's more frustrated and thinking he's more out of it. But I mean, currently has every single villager, just about every single villager in the town center. He doesn't even have a shipment yet. He has 0 military units, just the 6 Minutemen, that are at 1 HP.
Right.
Definitely a very strange resign. But
yeah, it does feel a little bit early, and like you say, he sat under that TC there. Maybe frustrated that he couldn't do any damage. But he is doing damage, right? Like all those villagers are idle. I don't think Hazza has any resource income at this point, while those villagers are all in the TC there, and he could have forced that situation for a while. But I guess he's thinking, well, I'm so far from age 3. Maybe he's just thinking Hazza's going to overwhelm him in the next minutes.
Yeah, honestly, I think the thing that made him quit is if you look at Jerimuno's muskets that are closer to his TC. I think Jerimuno set his barracks point to go right to Hazza's town center and keep the aggression up as soon as your muskets get trained. And the mark makes those muskets walk kind of along the shore. And as you see, the ship fired some cannonballs at those muskets, and that can be very frustrating when you're just trying to tell your units to fight and they get picked off by ships.
Yeah, you kind of got to shepherd them across the map, right? And Yeah, it's like, how did these boats even get in here anyway, right? You're telling me these came from the old world to this pond?
Yeah,
But
yeah. So a bit of a rage quit, I think, from
yeah, a little bit disappointing. I think he definitely had an opportunity to fight in that game, but Hazza will take the series 3-1, and he'll actually go through to the round of 16. Interestingly, where he will face the winner of our next series, because today we're following this up with Maito versus the Only Bouse, and the winner of that game will actually go on to face Hazza in the next round. We're actually continuing with that series right away. And we'll quickly look at the overview here on the stream. We can see Hazza there winning game 1, Pampa Sierras. Jerry fought back in game 2, winning with the Sioux, but then it was downhill from there as Hazza was dominant on Deccan and New England. At that point, I think Jerry, as you say, just looking a little bit tilted, maybe calling the game right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's tournament series, round of 32. Obviously, you should really always play your games to the very end. But yeah, Jerimuno, aware that he's playing versus one of the best players in the world right now, and down in the series, not easy to take games off of Hazza. It was
Yeah,
a one
but
game though, so
I do want to add one thing though with that match. Like he could have vetoed that map.
yeah,
It's
right. If he, he
if
didn't
he,
have much,
yeah, like if he didn't like it and he wasn't really comfortable with it, or he knew it was a bit of a memey map, he could have vetoed it. And instead, I can't remember what he did veto, but it wasn't that one. So maybe the other map left was worse for him. But in the end, he will fold and he'll go down to the lower bracket where he'll face someone else. I can't tell you who, but I know that the brackets are available on the ESOC website. That's eso-community.net. If you want to follow the tournament and the brackets, all the information is over there. But Maito and the Only Bouse are ready